And then I'm like, I don't know, science. Hello there, welcome back, and thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. I'm Theresa, and I post videos where we share one little spark of life together 3 times a week. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to hang out more often, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell before you leave here today. That way YouTube will let you know each and every time I upload a new video. Now, I'm not sure where you are on the temperature scale, but I'm kind of all over the place. I really don't have an internal temperature gauge. So if I get really hot, I stay really hot. And if I get really cold, I stay super cold for a really long time. Even though getting cold does tend to hurt my joints, I actually prefer when I get super cold more than when I get super hot, because I can always bundle up with putting like those big fluffy blankets on, or more clothes on, or sitting under a heating pad or under a heated blanket. But when I get too hot though, it takes a lot, and it takes forever typically for me to cool off. In the late afternoons and early evenings, I get really bad hot flashes. Pretty much what it boils down to is that I'll get insanely heated up, and was finding that pretty much nothing was cooling me down except for sitting under a fan and hoping for the best. Enter, thankfully, the product that we are going to be talking about today, a cooling blanket. This cooling blanket is from the brand Elegear. Elegear has a full line of cooling bedding. So they have the cooling blanket, they have cooling sheets, cooling pillowcases, and a cooling comforter. Full disclosure, Elegear did send this blanket to me in exchange for a review on the channel, but you know me, I am always 100% honest about a product, whether the company sent it over or I spent my own coin on it. So the Elegear, this by the way, is massive, so it is never going to be in the frame. I am just going to drape it on me because I am feeling a little warm. Much better. The Elegear cooling blanket uses Japanese Arc Chill cooling technology, which promises to cool the body 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. And I am assuming the same temperature range for Fahrenheit. Like, that makes sense to me. This revolutionary, quoting because it is their words, not mine, cooling blanket works by helping to release your body's heat. So Elegear says that after 5 minutes of having this on, your body heat has been released and that the surface area is twice as cool. So this cooling blanket does come in multiple colors, as does all of their cooling bedding. And I chose the green. And this, by the way, I know that it does look a bit blue in the camera, and that's pretty much what it looks like in real life. So if you purchase the green blanket from Elegear, this is the color that you will be getting. I used air quotes because this product claimed to be revolutionary, and when I usually see that a product claims to be revolutionary, I typically roll my eyes. In fact, I rolled my eyes when I read the description of this product when Elegear reached out to me. I guess it just comes from my experience, specifically with cooling products. Most cooling products that don't involve water of any kind, I find just don't work. Now, I am talking mostly about like workout clothes, things like that are supposed to be moisture wicking and cooling. I find that they don't really work all that well, at least not in the Louisiana summer heat. I was also super untrusting by the fact that this is a blanket, but it cools. Like, those two things just didn't add up in my mind. I don't know if they add up in yours, but they don't in mine. And they still don't after I've tried this product. Like, cooling blanket, I don't know. To me, I can't wrap my mind around a blanket that doesn't warm you up. I don't know what to say though, other than this works. It works. I don't know how it works, but this cooling blanket actually works. Every time that I sit with it, I truly try to figure out, well, like, how does it work? And then I'm like, I don't know, science. I don't know how it works, but it does. This cooling blanket, let me get one side up for you. So this cooling blanket is on the thinner side, but it does, I guess because of its size, it's thin, but it does have a good bit of weight to it. Not like a weighted blanket. It's just not super duper lightweight. That did surprise me because it was so thin that it would have some weight to it. So it's definitely cool to the touch, and I find it's a really soft blanket for not being one of those floofy kind of blankets. So this side is a bit shinier of a side. I find that it also has a bit more of a stretchy feel to it on this side. And then this side has a more cottony feel to it. But I'm not exactly sure if you're supposed to put one side over the other on the surface that you're trying to cool down. I love this cooling blanket, and I have been using it every night whenever I do have a hot flash. For me personally, it doesn't 100% like make all of the heat go away, but it definitely does cool me off significantly. The size is nice as well, so like I can wrap up in it, as you can see, and I'm sure that multiple people could fit under it too. I have not yet put it on my bed, but I am planning to do that during the summer months to keep me cool at night, and it does appear that it will fit my bed. So it is all beautiful. I love it, but I do have two main issues with this blanket. And they're two issues for me, but they may not be for you depending on your life. So one of the main issues that I do have with the Elegear cooling blanket is the fact that it is the size that it is and that it does have the weight that it does. That would make it, at least for me, near impossible to travel with this unless I was going somewhere by car. It would be very hard to roll up into luggage. It is way too large to like carry on a plane, and the weight would significantly weigh down your luggage if you were checking in your luggage. I think, at least. I definitely wish that the company would come up with almost like a throw blanket size that you could keep in the car or that you could travel with, so that you could use it if you did get severely overheated or if you did get a hot flash. Specifically because the company is marketing these cooling blankets and their cooling bedding in general to be made for people like who get hot flashes, who get overheated very easily. So I think that that would definitely be beneficial to have a smaller size of this. Another thing sort of deals with the size, but also the instructions. So the instructions are to wash and cold, which is not a big deal at all, and then to hang dry it in a cool place. I don't have that. I mean, I technically do have that, but this is a large blanket to hang dry. Personally, living in an apartment, we're not allowed by our lease to hang anything outside to dry, and a lot of times it's not cool outside. So that and the size, like I do hang most of my clothes to dry, but they're smaller than this blanket. So the size specifically makes it a little inconvenient. The way that I've gotten around that, I have yet to dry it. Like I hang dry it, but I put it over the curtain rod in my shower, and that way it can hang in a cool place to dry. If you don't have that, or you don't have that space, that might pose an issue for you. I have not dried this though. Even though I dry all of my other blankets, I haven't put this in the dryer because it doesn't specifically say why you can't dry it. So like, I don't know, like, will drying this just turn it into a normal blanket and completely take away the cooling qualities of it? I'm not exactly sure, and because I do like how cool this does get me, I don't want to chance that. That is it for me today, and now I want to hear from you. Let me know if you are interested in the concept of cooling blankets and what your favorite current household product is. Love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you know somebody who would like to find out more information about the Elegear cooling blanket, let them know about this. Share this video out to them so that they can watch it as well. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.